MC.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Sorry. How are you all? I just want to say thank you very much for coming, by the way. Everything we've been through. Thanks very much. First of all, I would like to announce Paul to the stage. Father of the bride. No pressure, young man. On to you.
Young man. I don't get called young man very often. Even though they're... I suppose I ought to say, just carried on from what Ryan started with. Thank you all for coming. We've got people from Bristol. We've got people from South Wales. We've got people from up north. And we should have had people from France, but this bloody COVID put a bit of a dampener on that. But nevertheless, we're here now. And here we have them. That's the top table. Top geezers, top couple. Give them a quick round of applause now. So, I remember when we first found out that James proposed to Charlotte. Myself and Janine, we were out. We were in a pub. We were in the Old Duke down in Bristol. And we're hey, stop trying to upstage me. It's my only chance.
Rachel, don't worry.
So we're in a pub. Charlotte FaceTimes Janine. James has just proposed. It's like, well, what did you say? Yes, of course. I said yes. We're in a pub. She's FaceTime Janine. There's loads of other geezers. Before you know it, Janine said, my daughter's getting married. And we got all these geezers in a pub behind. I know that. Don't know who the hell they were. Of course, I had to act surprised. But I already knew. I knew what was happening. It was in Paris it happened. But I already knew. It was quite an interesting little story behind it, really. I was offered a couple of tickets to go and watch football at Theatre Dreams. For some reason, he thought it was Villa Park. God knows why. So we went down Ashton Gate, watched a game of football, if you can call it that, to be fair, James. I wouldn't say it was the best game, but nevertheless. And it was a bank holiday Friday, wasn't it? It was Easter weekend on a Friday. Weather was absolutely cracking. So it was an early kick-off, so we went down there, had a great day. Met a load of my mates, went out on the piss for a bit. Had a few beers. He must have seen a weak moment, because all of a sudden, he drops it in. He asked me for my daughter's hand in marriage. Fucking hell, sorry, I swear again. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Sam, did you do that for Lucy? You did? Oh, right, okay. John, I can't remember doing that for Janine. Did I? No. To be fair, I can't remember asking anyone to marry me. I was told. Anyway, we had a good day. What was my response to James? I'm not going to tell you now. If you want to know what it was, ask him later. All right? But he does enjoy telling people. So the other thing is, I don't really remember the first time I met James. Now, that's not about James, that's more about my memory, to be fair. But there's a lot of things I do remember. I remember finding out that James was a Villa fan, so I thought, first thing I was going to do was have a word with Charlotte and say, he's not the man for you, come on. But then I stopped a minute and I thought about it and I thought, well, at least he's not a Rovers fan. So that'd be all right. And the other thing is, apparently, it's down to his dad. So I can't blame him for a poor upbringing, can I, to be fair? There are a couple of other things I remember about James. I remember the first time he was sick at ours. I definitely remember that.
You're not sick, are you, mate?
And the second time. And the third time. And the fourth time. And so on and so on and so on. You know, he loves to hug a bucket, apparently. So he just goes to bed with a bucket all the time. And it's funny, talking to James's mum last night, she said, yeah, that's what he does. He's sickly child. So what do I really think of James as a son-in-law? Well, whenever I meet people, and this is just me personally, whenever I meet people, blokes generally, I judge them on two accounts. Their footwear and whether they can drink. Yeah. So first account, the footwear. To be fair, James likes his trainers. I love trainers. I got a little bit of an addiction to trainers and shoes and all the rest of it. So that was great on that account. The second account, drinking. All I need to say is tequila. Now, once again, if you want to know, just try and buy him a tequila. But of course, you know what I mean, it's from now on, I mean, the number of times I've made him drink tequila with the same results, but I keep doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And he knows that, so he's accepting that, to be fair. So, the other thing, of course, I wanted someone to marry Charlotte that could keep her in the sort of luxury that she deserves and what she's accustomed to. So it's about career and jobs and so on. So to be honest, I was only looking for someone who worked at McDonald's. That would have done. However, James in his career, he did a number of jobs, I think, before he settled where he is now. I mean, there was a time where he worked at the leisure centre at the gym. I think he got the sack for drinking all the profits one night. Is that right?
You don't know it.
Then there was another. You've done some admin, I think, at the NHS somewhere, and then he decided to join the family business. And he became a perfusionist. Does everybody know what a perfusionist is? No. Thank God for that. I didn't have a clue, so I had to find out. A perfusionist is someone who makes perfume. James and his dad, they got a little lab set up outside the back of the BRI, Bristol Royal Infirmary, where they're testing. They're testing all these products on all these animals, these poor animals out there. Just testing. So whenever you see on Facebook, you know, pets have gone missing in Yatton, that's where they are. That's where they are. You've seen all these cats where we're staying. I bet you look in their suitcases when we get to the airport, there'll be a few in there. They'll be taking them back. So, if you want to try some perfume, the Downs boys do a lovely little number. Oh, the ashtray. Superb. A smoky aroma, floral undertones of ash. Now, to be fair, clinical perfusionists, I Googled this. They specialise in setting up and controlling the heart and lung bypass equipment that keeps a patient alive during open heart surgery. Whoa. As like that. Pretty special, eh? But if you want to know more about it, we've actually got the expert in the room on the end there, Richard. Yeah. James's dad. So, and Richard, Mary, I'm sure you're very, very proud of James following in Richard's footsteps, as we are, to be fair, very proud of him. So, what about Charlotte then? Yeah, beautiful, charming, understanding, considerate and attentive. So who does she take after? Paulie. I remember the first time I met Charlotte too, to be fair. She was screaming and crying at me. Oh, bloody hell. Nothing much changed, to be honest. Only joking, love, you were a few days old. And when she was first born, as with all babies, having to clear up after her, having to feed her. And of course, as she grew up 15, 16 years later, having to clear up after her, having to feed her. Now she's moved out and she's gone and she's got a lovely place with James, and every now and then she pops round. What do we have to do? Feed her, clear up after her. So James, you know exactly what to expect, to be fair. But you know that anyway. So what else about Charlotte? Here we go then. You probably don't know, but Charlotte's a slut. But so is Lucy, so is Anika, so is Emma. And that's not being nasty, they call themselves that, God knows why. So Charlotte's group of friends, if she's got a real big group of friends, they call themselves the sluts. And I did promise that I'd give them a shout out, so they've got the shout out. And in fact, I've actually got a message from back home that I'll read out, okay? Just to you and James. So it says, huge congratulations to our beautiful Charlotte and James on their marriage today. Every one of us is thinking of you both, and we're sending you all the slut love we have. And oh boy, it's a lot. We can't wait to all be together so we can raise a toast to new Mr. and Mrs. Downs and hear all about the amazing day. For now, to the bar, all our love, your loyal, loving best friends, the Bristol Sluts. Okay. So, I say I'm not a fan of long speeches, so I'm coming towards the end of this one anyway. But I'd just like to say it's been a real pleasure watching Charlotte grow into the woman she is today. I couldn't be any prouder than walking her down the aisle today, one of the best days of my life. So I'm going to finish a little bit different. I don't know whether this will work. There's only one way to find out. So that's it from the father of the bride. I hope you've enjoyed my lyrical ride. So all I ask from this present class is that we all raise a glass. So I propose a toast to the wedded couple before we all start to see double, and wish them all the best on their quest, as there will be some tests. So come on, guests, without further jest, to the bride and groom, Charlotte and James. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Boy,
Very good.
Boy, that was fucking decent.
Very good. Charlotte, who thought your dad was a lyrical genius? Fantastic. Well done, Paul. James, no pressure. Follow that up, my friend.
Jesus. Well, I was half hoping he'd be shit, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh dear. Right. Well, cheers for that, Paul. And behalf of my wife and that's it, probably the only one I'm going to get all done. I'd like to thank off by saying thank you all for being here. And that's not the usual sort of thanks for coming and having the free drinks and whatnot. This is a sincere and true thank you with everything that's going on. We know it's, everybody's got their own story and it's it's very hard and whatnot. And you've made such a great effort to join us today. And we're truly grateful and blessed to have such wonderful family and friends who have made the trip. So thank you. I'd love to not mention the bloody pandemic, but we see the irony of choosing to get married abroad for ease of planning before this all struck, and it's fine. And I know everybody has their own struggles since February, but for us, as you can imagine, the stress has been unbearable at times. When lockdown hit, it was difficult to see any way out of the mess, and we felt powerless. And things started to resume, but that didn't really help us emotionally, and it was hard to watch it on the TV because it was just bad news, and the situation was so bleak, and we never thought we were going to get out of it. But thankfully for us, after all the drama and the tears and the heartache, Aston Villa were able to survive relegation. Cheers. Cheers, Jack. Cheers, Jack. Cheers, Jack. But in all seriousness, I've always had a bit of luck whenever Charlotte's involved, and I was adamant that everything would be all right on the night, because it always is with us. When I proposed to Charlotte in Paris, everything was going wrong. The ring box broke in my suitcase, it rained all day, and the place that I'd Googled to go and do, which looked great on Google, got there and it just looked horrendous. But then I had my backup plan, and we got to the Palace Jardin, and for that brief moment, the sun came out, all the tourists moved, and the universe just left it to me. The universe didn't account for me not being able to say a word and just throwing a ring in her face, but the point remains valid. And of course it was all right on the night. Touch wood, nothing's gone wrong so far. And as I said, I'd like to thank you all for coming from the bottom of our hearts, but I do, however, have some important thank yous. So first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Janine and Paul. when I googled what should go into the speech, it suggested you should make a joke about your new mother-in-law.
Okay, just try it.
I think I'm going to skip that one. But family is so incredibly important to the Lewises, and I'm so grateful for how welcoming you've always been to me over the years. And I'm sure, as Paul's alluded to, it's not always been easy. What with Charlotte being your only daughter, and because generally I'm a tit most of the time. So. But I really adore watching your close family dynamic. You've given Charlotte really strong family roots, whilst also giving her the wings to sort of be the best person of herself. And you've raised such an incredible person, and I'm sure she makes you proud every day. So thank you for everything. As Paul half alluded to, thank you very much for your blessing, Paul. When I told him that I wanted to ask his daughter to marry me, he looked me square in the eyes and he said, "Do you think I give her?" And to be fair, I don't know what else I expected from Paul. No. I'd also like to thank my parents, and I'm sure so does everybody else here, for raising such a funny and charming and handsome and most importantly modest son. You've always been so incredibly supportive of us and have really taken Charlotte to your hearts. I'm so grateful for your support and nurturing throughout my life, which, again, I'm not sure was always easy. And I really hope to have your level of patience and understanding when our child is also being a little... I don't think I could wish for two better role models than you both. And it's testament to your parenting skills that you have two brilliant kids and that Tom is still alive. And on that note, I'd also like to thank my brother and sister for always keeping me grounded in that special way only elder siblings can. Rachel made us this brilliant video of all the family and was so lovely and touching. And to be fair, she's been so excited and helpful since we've got engaged. But then I guess that's because she's been praying for this moment ever since she met Charlotte and instantly adored her like everybody seems to. And Tom, thank you for agreeing to be our witness. I was actually there when Charlotte asked Anika, one of her best friends, to witness our marriage. And it was a beautiful moment where they both got a bit emotional and they went out for drinks after to celebrate, and I thought, I can't wait to replicate this with my hero, my big brother. And so I asked him, and I said, you know, Tom, will you be my witness? And I got a text a few days later back saying, sure, I'm good at seeing stuff and not bad at writing my name. Just beautiful, just beautiful. I'd also like to quickly thank my grandma and Charlotte's grandparents out in Australia, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us, and we'd have loved to spend the day with you, but we know that they are definitely thinking of us, and we're thinking of you today as well. But thankfully, Jenny and John, Charlotte's other grandparents, were able to join us. You are both the most fun and best company, and as seen in Rachel's video, clearly the best dancers as well. And sorry, I just lost my place. So, and you've always been so incredibly supportive of us, and fantastic to me. So, thank you for making the trip today. Next, I'd like to thank my groomsmen for being here and organising my stag as well, which I know was hard work, and for Ryan for coming to it eventually. There were a couple more, but unfortunately due to various COVID reasons, they couldn't make it. But we've all been best mates for as long as I can remember, and I'm so glad you could be here to share in our special day. If you had told me all the way back then when we were knocking footballs around and playing cricket and generally causing trouble that, you know, when we grew up, you'd all be 6 foot and bloody handsome and show me up on my bloody wedding day, I'd have found me some new mates. I'd also like to thank the bridesmaids, Emma and Lucy, who both look stunning today. They say there's no friendship like girls' friendship, and it's definitely true. I've been on those nights when they sit until about 4 a.m. gossiping absolute nonsense. But you just see the joy in just sharing each other's company, and you're both incredibly loyal friends and lovely people, so thank you for being here with us today. And and also, thank you for not ruining my house on the hen do as well. And finally, to Charlotte, my favourite person, my best friend, and now, I'm incredibly honoured to say, my wife. Who I'm sure we can all agree looks unbelievable today. Firstly, I just want to say how incredibly you've done organising everything today. So many people at work asked whether Charlotte was getting stressed or has she turned into Bridezilla yet, and I thought, you definitely don't know Charlotte. You've been so brilliant throughout this amazingly stressful time and dealt with everything with such calm and grace, and I really hope that this day is everything you dreamed of, with obviously the man of your dreams. I don't really know how to describe what you mean to me. Our life has been such an incredible adventure so far because of you. You're beautiful and fun, charismatic, hilarious, intelligent, and just so cool, and I'm in awe of you every single day. And oh dear, Christ! I've still got like a little bit left, and I feel so blessed and lucky that you chose to share your amazing journey with me. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us. So many joyous moments to come, but I know that no matter what stands in front of us, whenever I've got you, it'll always be all right on the night. So, if we could all raise a glass to the most beautiful bride and the love of my life, Charlotte. To Charlotte.
Guys, I'm afraid, can you bear with us just for 30 seconds? We have to have a very slight change of costume before we start off. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. All right, man. Give us 2 seconds if that's okay, guy.
Everyone, we're back.
Right, wrong side, wrong side. Come on, do it.
We just thought that, because obviously this is like a big announcement and things like that. We're so used to it now that it wouldn't be a big speech, it wouldn't be a big everyone here having a look without it being like this. So we're just going to stand here for a few minutes and you can all...
I can't keep this thing on my house.
Yeah, shit.
Just a little bit like humour to start it off, guys.
Right, hello everybody. Hi. It's nice of you all to drag yourselves away from the all-inclusive bar and the 30-degree heat, which, let's be honest, is the main reason we're all here, right? With all the testing we've been through, the will it, the won't it be on, I'm pretty sure it'd be easy to have a gay marriage in North Korea. Now... Now for the only serious part of this speech. We just want to say a sincere thank you to everybody for making the effort today. I think we can all agree, Shah, you actually look absolutely amazing. And Paul, she clearly got a good looks from Janine Powell. But seriously, Shah, you deserve the best husband. And James, thank fuck you got in there before she found it.
On behalf of the bridesmaids and us groomsmen, we'd like to thank Jamo and Shah for including us in their special day. It has been incredible so far, and I'm sure we can all appreciate the hard work that's gone into this. Shah, I'm sure you've worked incredibly hard. James, just chill and enjoy yourself. Yeah? The only job you had so far today, mate, was to choose the best man. And that's not even been done, is it? And that is the reason there's 3 of us stood up here now, shaking like shitting dogs. It's not even...
When we were told the wedding destination was going to be in Cyprus, we were very confident this was not James's idea. We would have expected an understated, more traditional wedding, maybe a stretch, some frosty jack, only if it was on offer, of course. You see, Jamo loves a bargain, and we wouldn't call him a cheapskate or a tight bastard, but you all might. But then again, that must be the Scottish blood running through him, eh, Mary? Knowing all this about Jamo, this is where Shah compliments him so perfectly, because she wouldn't be here making these amazing memories without her. Oh, it's me again, isn't it?
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, sorry, lads. Through their 9-year relationship, we've spent a lot of time together as a group, including many holidays, festivals, nights out, etc. It was only a matter of time before the big day arrived, as you have all been perfect for each other. All this even after Shah accidentally found his internet history that one time. It was an Oriental experience, wasn't it, Charlotte?
Hey, Shah! Hey, Shah!
We've been best mates with James since we were children. But as we've grown up, our friendship has mainly consisted of sports and a few beers, but also whilst telling each other how good we were at sport on that day and the chosen sport, right?
That's what we do.
Our nights usually end up with James, I don't know, I'm sure we can all expect and guess where this is going.
Yeah.
James being sick. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Which Mary knew all about following his stag do experience as, what is that, a 10 o'clock pickup, which, let's be honest, was a good effort considering. Especially after the amount of shit that you copped wearing that beautiful frock that you had on during paintballing. I mean, it's a good effort. James is a very keen sportsman. He loves his football and adores his Aston Villa. Again, we've had reference to where that's come from, so we can all thank Rich for that. Although I don't think Rich would quite agree with his creepy obsession for Jack Grealish, who,
One of their football players.
given half a chance, James, you wouldn't swap, but it'd be a thought, wouldn't it?
He'd be sat there, mate.
Generally though, James is a lucky bastard, as we've heard, and he's good at most sports. He's ranged it all, ping pong, basketball, but our current obsession is golf, which has been driving all our women to breaking point.
Golf has brought a new side out to James, which none of us saw coming. On the golf course, James is one of the most aggressive people you will come across. Due to this mental aggression and rage, we are now only allowed to play at one of our 10 local golf courses. This aggression includes club throwing, animal cruelty,
Which apparently isn't the first time we've been hearing about this.
golf course damage, and our favourite, club snapping. Jamo also specifically said, do not talk about that one time in the bunker. We can't go there. Cricket is where we really bond as a friendship group, though. All growing up playing for Clavering, our local cricket club, since we were very, 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 very young. Jamo is a classy spin bowler with a slightly large, massive kink in the elbow. Without knowing cricket, you won't get that one. It's funny. Trust me, it's funny. And if you ask him, he's more than handy with the bat. If you asked us, we might say otherwise. He has been our captain and leader, but the most impressive part of all of it is how can a man with such tiny hands He's so good at hand-dominated sport. Having small hands isn't all that bad, though. It gives him a great ego boost when he goes for a piss. bit off course here, but do you know why the wedding ring is placed on the fourth finger from the thumb on the left hand? Does
Anyone?
know?
James, do you know?
I do.
No, James will know. This is the part speak. It's because it's the only finger that has a vein which is directly connected to the heart. I bet no one knew that, which they didn't, but James probably did, because he's a clever fucker, and he knows his circulatory system.
I feel even worse now. I feel even worse.
Is that no?
There's also, is there a fact check coming in? I mean, I don't know if that's real or not.
What we're all trying to say is Jamo really is the brains of our group, and along with his quick wit, he is someone you can always rely on. Therefore, Shah, you're in really good hands. Again, very small, but good. There are many stories we have had about Jamo when we've been growing up, and as we've all got older, many of these centred around a certain strip club adventures. However, we've been told to avoid sharing these by the masses, so if anybody wants any further information, feel free to come and find us at the bar. Moving on very swiftly.
So, James and I have known each other since we were very, very young. Every summer he used to go on holiday with Richard and Mary in the caravan down to France, not sure exactly which part. This one certain summer, James, I assume with Tom's help, because these two together aren't exactly he stumbled across these fiery treats, should we say. I'm sure Richard and Mary, did you know anything about this? We assume not.
Head in hand.
So once James got back, he headed round to the house like he usually did. I used to live next door to a park. A few ideas were evolved. We tested it out on blowing up a dog shit bin, basically, and it wasn't. It was a catalyst of a few other ideas. And yeah, quite frankly, I live next door to a supply teacher at our local school where we all went to school. She went by the name of Mrs. Dudley. I think me and James always assumed that she just hated kids. Right? That's what we assumed. Maybe it was just me or you, but yeah, I mean, she's got some shit. I also remember, I had totally forgotten about the story that when Rachel was babysitting for my younger siblings, and we were around in my back garden doing things we shouldn't probably be doing. We'll go into that another time.
You what?
No, we're not going into that one because that's not our finest hour. But this one's probably worse. And I don't know why I'm going down that route, not this one. But there's this one particular moment where one of these French bangers ended up in her door, which was it was an old door, so it didn't do any damage or anything. But to be honest. To say that wasn't mine and James's finest moment is a bit of an understatement, isn't it, pal? There you go.
Genuinely, James, once again, the three of us would like to thank you for being one of the best and most trustworthy pals we could ever ask for, and grateful for letting us be part of your beautiful day with Charlotte.
All joking aside, it's been a very beautiful thing when a friend finds their soulmate. So beautiful, so caring, so loyal and committed to you. Somebody who can raise your heart rate and bring sheer happiness at the sign of a long-term commitment like today. I think by now it's obvious who we're talking about.
James, would you like to come and just get a quick present from the three of us and the lads back home?
Go on, James. All right, James.
Thank you.
Get rid of that. There you go. Can you share it as well, please, mate?
No. Oh, it melts. Oh, sorry. This is Jack. This is my good friend.
What are you doing to him?
Well, what we normally do on Friday nights.
Genuinely though, mate, we couldn't be more happy for you and Shah. We all, as a group of friends, we love you. You're everything to James, which is very clear. And we couldn't think of a better person to marry our best friend.
Woo!
Go on, boy.
James. Again, off the back of that, James, I just want to say how lucky you are. You're going to leave Cyprus with an absolutely beautifully stunning wife.
And Shah, you'll leave here with a gorgeous dress and a sun. Can you join us? And raise your glass to the toast, the newlyweds. All together.
Mr. and Mrs. Downs!
Downs!